Hello and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz with me, Jimbo. Thank you for tuning in for another TA segment on today, Monday the 11th of November. In today's video, we're going to glance our eyes over the Bitcoin charts and see what we can deduce from the price action. We're going to take a look at one dominance chart which may be suggesting that the altcoins are ready to boom. And to finish off, we will have a look at one altcoin with a chart pattern which I've identified previously and it looks very familiar. If that sounds interesting to you guys, please make sure to slap a like on this video and let's jump straight in. So guys, here is our Bitcoin daily chart, and as you can see, we continue with the same support and resistance lines that we've had drawn in. Our red lines here acting as our support and resistances, and this blue set of lines showing us the previous falling wedge. So guys, in the previous video we discussed the chance of Bitcoin continuing to trend its way down this blue line, and that is what's happened. We were discussing the likelihood of Bitcoin breaking the 4-hour 50 exponential moving average, which is exactly what happened here, and we went back down and tested the blue support line. Interesting to see right now on the 4-hour chart that we've got our 200 moving average seemingly acting as support once again, as it has done previously, and our 50 exponential moving average forming as a resistance. So again, as I've said to you guys before, I'm trying to identify these tightening ranges and these squeezes in price to identify when we may see a move rather than which way it's going to move. And at the moment, the tightening range that I'm seeing form is between this 50 exponential moving average and the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. So an interesting range for you to keep an eye on there, guys. I would assume that a break of either of these lines would indicate a move in that same direction. If we were to break the orange 50 exponential moving average, then we're on our way back up to test this red resistance line up here at 9,600. And if we break our 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, well, then we already have very clear support here on this blue line from the falling wedge. And as we've discussed previously, a breakdown from that would see us go back down and test this 8,000 level, in my opinion. Of course, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I giving you financial advice. This is just me looking at the charts, identifying my particular areas of interest and hopefully giving you some useful insights along the way. So there's one other thing that I wanted to show you guys quickly here on Bitcoin. Now, because I've seen lots of stuff on crypto Twitter about really bearish views, and it's easy to be swung either way. It's a very emotional market, and there is quite a good chance that we could break back down into this falling wedge range and retest this 8,000 support. I'm not for a second saying that isn't likely. I just want to show you this. This is considered a falling wedge springboard break, and as you can see, what we have here is our falling wedge. Price breaks out and is confirmed with a close, as we had here. Literally just closed above, but it did close above. So we had the confirmation, and now we've come back down and we're testing the support of this upper wedge. As you can see here, guys, actually this is still considered quite a natural breakout when you trade along this support and then break back up again. So right now, as you guys know, I'm never really perma bear or perma bull, but what I would say is whilst we continue to trade along above this blue line, there is a very, very realistic opportunity that this upwards trend could continue. Again, of course, a break of this blue support line would neglect that, and we would be on our way back down into this falling wedge pattern. But I thought that was interesting and worthwhile pointing out, because it's something of note, and that's what I'm trying to share with you guys, right? Okay guys, so on to this next chart. We've had to go over to charts.cointrader.pro for this one. This is our Altcoin Dominance chart. Now guys, if you're not familiar with this, it's essentially the inverse of the Bitcoin Dominance chart. We have Bitcoin Dominance at 65 point something, and as you can see, the reflection of that is, 64 point something, and the reflection of that is that Altcoin Dominance is about 33 to 34. So you get an idea of what we're looking at there, okay? Now, what I want to show you here, guys, this chart is going all the way back to 2014. Now, this support line is relatively justified. We've got one bounce, two bounce. We came very close to having a bounce here in 2017, and we have seen another bounce. This is a weekly chart, by the way. We have seen another bounce here in September. Question is, guys, are we about to see this break out? Now, I'm going to overlay another little line here, a little horizontal trend line at this resistance point. if we were to break that, this could be very, very nice for the altcoins. If we were to break this to the upside, then who knows? Maybe we could see another altcoin run. Again, guys, I'm just trying to highlight areas of interest, things that could be useful when planning your moves. You know, it's not financial advice. I'm just showing you guys what I'm looking at. And at the moment, although I do hold some altcoins, I'm not heavily in altcoins at the moment, because I'm waiting to see which way this breaks. And if we were to break this to the upside, that would signal some very bullish things for the altcoins. I mean, you can see, guys, you know, once we've bounced off this, obviously this is the first touch of it, but we bounced and had a really nice rise there. And then again, a significant bounce and another really nice rise from 8 all the way up to 26%, and then we came back down into the range at 11 to 12%, and we shot all the way up to 61%. So, you know, this looks really interesting, guys. You're seeing a lot of solid green volume here, which is, again, a nice indication that that there's a nice inflow of volume there. The question is, are we going to break this to the upside? Worth keeping an eye on, guys. Remember, these candles aren't quick to form. They are weekly candles, but we potentially be very close to seeing this solve. And if it was to solve to the upside, the alt could start looking very bullish again. So just worth pointing out, in my opinion. Now, finally, guys, I want to pop over to CRO Bitcoin. Now, the reason I want to identify this chart is simply because there's a pattern here that I like to look for when personally trading alts. Again, as I've said previously, we could have very different risk to reward strategies. Your idea of what looks good on a chart could be very different to mine. And I'm not saying for a moment that I'm entering this position just now, but what I wanted to do is identify what I've seen, okay? Now, look, we've got higher lows. Here's the lowest low. We formed a higher low, okay? So we put our support line in place there. And we've been trading off this resistance area. It's not a perfect line, but it often isn't with the altcoins. It's never, you know, you're looking for shapes and patterns here. And I'm seeing a pattern emerge. I'm seeing a resistance here at 455, and I'm seeing a support getting higher and higher. Now, the reason that I'm interested in this particularly today is because I've noticed that we've actually seen an incline in these lower lows. Now, this often takes my attention, guys, because it suggests to me that the move is getting stronger and stronger. It's not an exact science. There's no, you know, this isn't perfect. This is analysis from my own eyes of this chart. But what I'm seeing here is higher lows and now an increase in high lows. So now what this suggests to me is that buyers are forcing this up at the moment. You see what I'm saying? That at the moment the buying is strong. It's not dropping down to the same lows as it has previously, and it's actually accelerating at a faster rate than it has done on this longer term trend, which actually takes us back to September. But as you can see, we're now accelerating again in our higher lows. So I think this is something worth watching. Certainly the most interesting and most bullish signal would be the break of the 450 Satoshi area. That would really be, you know, very bullish if it was backed by volume. But just something of note for you guys to pay attention to. We are seeing higher lows. Could we be about to see another spike and retest of this upper resistance line? It looks like it could be on the cards, guys. We'll have to see over the coming days. Well, guys, that's everything for today's video. I hope you found it insightful and useful. Please slap a like on it if you did find it useful, and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz if you haven't already. And finally, if you haven't had a chance to stop over there already, have a little stop over on altcoinbuzz.io. That's a one-stop shop for all things crypto. We've got technical analysis, project research, subject area research. It's really, really fantastic. And again, you know, and live news feed, everything like that. So go and get yourself over to that and check it out if you haven't already. But from me, guys, that's everything today. I will see you later on down the trend line.